I'm appalled and disgusted by what I've done. And for your family, in a way I can't fix. You're my prayers, and I hope one day you'll be able to forgive me, and that God will bring me peace.
In the quiet town of North Ogden, just 45 miles north of the vibrant Salt Lake City, Utah, a sinister secret lay hidden behind closed doors of the Millerberg residence. Imagine a typical evening of babysitting where a young girl's nurturing presence brings comfort to a home. But in the case of Alexis Rasmussen, the truth was far more disturbing than anyone could have imagined. Behind closed doors, Alexis was not just an innocent babysitter, she was a pawn in their dangerous game. Welcome to the DetectiVerse, where we travel into the universe of solved and unsolved crimes and mysteries from all corners of the galaxy. In today's video, we will discuss the case of 16-year-old Alexis Michelle Rasmussen, a young babysitter who fell prey to the manipulation of those who were supposed to nourish her. The search for Alexis lasted for weeks, with law enforcement and volunteers scouring every inch of the area in which she was last seen. Eventually, Alexis's body was discovered in a shallow grave, igniting a criminal investigation that would reveal shocking secrets and shed light on the darker side of human nature. As each detail of Alexis Rasmussen's disappearance came to the surface, they revealed a story that shattered the perception of truth, unraveling the innocence of a babysitting arrangement gone horribly wrong. Alexis Lexi Michelle Rasmussen was born on January 24, 1995, to Dawn Mira housekeeper and Kirk Rasmussen. She had two brothers, Seth and Dylan, and a sister named Isabel Mira. Despite the occasional squabbles, her brothers held an irreplaceable place in her heart, an eternal bond that no argument could sever. From the very beginning, it was clear that Lexi had a bright future ahead of her. She loved reading and was eager to explore new worlds and ideas. Alongside her love for reading, Lexi had a knack for fashion. She was frequently seen shopping with her friends, with whom she loved hanging out dearly. She was by nature an outgoing and passionate spirit. Her heart always longed for the warmth of her loved ones. Seeking to alleviate the burdens of her teenage desires, Alexis stumbled upon an opportunity that seemed innocent enough. The Millerberg couple, Dia and Eric, crossed her path at a time when she longed for extra cash to fuel her shopping adventures. The allure of a babysitting job presented itself, and without hesitation, Alexis took the chance in the spring of 2011. Little did she know that this decision would entwine her life with the Millerbergs in ways she could have never anticipated. 36-year-old Eric Millerberg, a member of the white supremacist gang known as the Silent Aryan Warriors, was a man with a checkered past. Between 1997 and 2006, Millerberg found himself behind bars multiple times for a series of offenses that included burglary, discharge of a firearm, and failure to comply with police commands. These felonies underscore the potential dangers lurking within his troubled history. But it does not end there. According to Casey Peterson, a fellow gang member, Eric referred to himself as a watcher of the flock, suggesting a twisted sense of responsibility to introduce teenagers to the world of illicit substances. In his warped perspective, Millerberg saw himself as a guardian. He believed that by providing these substances to teenagers, he was preventing them from seeking them elsewhere, thus potentially avoiding more dangerous situations. One twisted way of justification for manipulation and minor abuse, it seems. As days turned into weeks, a peculiar bond formed between Alexis and the Millerbergs. Dia and Eric, who initially seemed like an ordinary couple, effortlessly gained the trust of Alexis, or Lexi as they fondly called her. In a search for identity and independence as a 16-year-old, Alexis began to emulate the Millerbergs and adopted a lifestyle that was anything but healthy and ordinary. Throughout Alexis's ultimate downfall, her parents remained unaware of the influence that had taken hold of their beloved daughter. Young Alexis, accompanied by Dia Millerberg, eventually delved into the world of drugs and began selling drugs to one of Alexis's friends in exchange for a meager sum and marijuana. The three frequently hung out and consumed alcohol, marijuana, and other substances. As time went on, Alexis's curiosity led her to ask for the exploration of harder drugs like methamphetamine and heroin, a request the Millerbergs would eventually fulfill. The boundaries between the trio eroded further as the couple began paying Alexis with the very drugs she craved. They started paying her often with drugs such as Xanax, as disclosed by Brenna Kane, one of Alexis's closest friends. Besides drugs, even sexual encounters were allegedly provided by the couple. Their gatherings ranged from casual hangouts at the Millerbergs' residence to secluded hotel room rendezvous. Another friend, whose identity remained undisclosed, confirmed these accounts, revealing that they would visit the Millerbergs' home specifically to indulge in drug use. It was Eric Millerberg who allegedly taught them how to consume methamphetamine using a makeshift contraption fashioned from a light bulb. Within this tangled web of manipulation and drug abuse, the stage was set for a devastating turn of events for young Alexis and her loved ones. On the chilling autumn night of September 10, 2011, the Millerbergs had a seemingly innocent plan in motion. They had requested Alex's service as a babysitter so that they could go shopping for their daughter's upcoming birthday. However, neither babysitting nor shopping happened. As soon as Alexis stepped foot inside the Millerberg home, Eric wasted no time in asking her if she was down for a quick thrill. Upon Alexis's acceptance of the offer, he started injecting her with the lethal cocktail of drugs. Her arm and neck became the conduits, once with heroin and twice with methamphetamine. Instead of going out shopping, Dia Millerberg joined Alexis and her husband. They attempted to engage in sexual activity together, but their intoxication rendered them unable to follow through. As the night progressed, Alexis began to show distressing symptoms, complaining of feeling cold and shaky. After taking a bath, the Millerbergs helped her into their bed and then stepped outside to smoke. Upon their return, they realized that young Alexis was unresponsive and not breathing. In a state of panic, Dia, a licensed nurse at the time, attempted CPR, but to no avail. The girl lay motionless, with mucus seeping from the side of her mouth, failing to regain consciousness. Young Alexa lost her life right at the horrifying scene. Meanwhile, her mother Dawn had no idea about the heart-wrenching state her daughter was in. Dawn received text messages from Alexis an hour after she took off to the Millerbergs, which read that she was still at their home, supposedly babysitting, as the couple had left to continue their shopping spree. Concerned about the late hour, Dawn urged Alexis to spend the night at the Millerberg residence. That was the last time she ever heard from her daughter. The next morning, as Alexis failed to return home, Dawn grew worried. Searching for her daughter, she arrived at the Millerbergs' home, only to be met by Eric Millerberg, who appeared quite erratic and disoriented. That was when Dawn decided to file a missing persons report. The next day, during their initial encounter with the police about the disappearance of Alexis, the Millerbergs told them that Alexis had left their home before midnight to meet a friend. However, no one corroborated this claim, and the alleged friend claimed to have only exchanged text messages with her and not actually met her. The search warrant released by the Ogden court brought forth chilling evidence that further deepened the sense of dread surrounding the disappearance. Within the Millerbergs' residence, investigators made a shocking discovery: a section of the home where the carpet and padding had been removed, and there it was, in plain sight, human blood. The search extended beyond the confines of the home. The investigators were eventually led to a car that Eric Millerberg had sold to an individual in Utah County. Disturbingly, the carpet in the truck had been removed. Was it an innocent coincidence or a sinister attempt to conceal evidence? Throughout this harrowing ordeal, Alexis's mother never ceased her search for her beloved daughter. The investigation into the disappearance of Alexis Rasmussen was fraught with challenges and obstacles. Many of Alexis's teenager friends initially hesitated to cooperate with the police due to fear of their own involvement in illicit activities which made the investigation more difficult. Despite this, the authorities diligently pursued leads and followed up on reported sightings of Alexis, although many of these turned out to be false alarms. For 38 agonizing days, 16-year-old Alexis Rasmussen remained missing. However, everything changed on October 18th when her body was discovered in a remote area of Morgan County near the exit of Interstate 84. The young girl was identified through her neon toenail polish, ankle bracelets, and jawline. Found in a fetal position, her lower half stuffed into a garbage bag, she had been concealed in a truly heart-wrenching manner. Her identity was later officially confirmed by the Utah State Medical Examiner's Office through fingerprints and dental records. A confidential informant played a crucial role in providing the tip that led the police to the grave site in Morgan County. This informant was directly connected to the investigation into Alexis's disappearance. Although it hadn't initially been treated as a missing person case, the discovery of her remains changed the course of the investigation significantly. In 2012, months after young Alexis's demise, charges were brought against the Millerbergs for their involvement. A painful trial was awaiting them. During her testimony, Dia Millerberg admitted to lying to the police about Alexis until she was released from jail on unrelated prescription fraud and child endangerment charges. She revealed that she had been afraid of her controlling husband and stated that she finally spoke truthfully to the police on December 30th, 2011.
Brother, I'm not going to make excuses for what I've done. I think it would only make things worse. I have no way to express the magnitude of grief that I feel for Alexis' family for what I've done, but I take responsibility.
She admitted to providing illicit drugs not only to Alexis, but also to Brenna, one of Alexis's best friends. She also testified that she and her husband engaged in sexual conduct with Alexis, including on the night she disappeared.
The gentleman, this defendant, engaged in illegal sexual activity.
According to Dia, it was she who dressed the naked body of Alexis and placed it inside a footlocker, which was then concealed within a box in the trunk of their car. With their 6-year-old daughter left behind at home, but their toddler accompanying them, the Millerbergs visited various locations to find a possible area where they could discard young Alexis's lifeless body. On April 9, 2012, she testified against her husband and shortly thereafter filed for divorce. 2 years later, in June 2014, 41-year-old Dia Millerberg pleaded guilty in Ogden's 2nd District Court to several charges, including obtaining illegal prescriptions, obstruction of justice, and abuse or desecration of a human body, all of which are third-degree felonies. On August 12, 2014, she was sentenced to 3 concurrent terms of 0 to 5 years in prison for these convictions.
It's going to be the order and sentence of the court that you're to serve 3 indeterminate terms in the Utah State Prison of 0 to 5 years. I will recommend that they run concurrent. I will recommend that you get credit for all time served, which I showed to be approximately 62 days.
The concurrent terms meant that the sentences for each charge would run simultaneously. Her attorney maintained that Dia had consistently denied causing the demise of Alexis Rasmussen.
In fact, one of the letters attached to Mr. Harvard's report is from looked at Alexis. She immediately knew something was wrong.
And the charges supported her claim of innocence. The charges brought suggested that Dia was not utterly responsible for Alexis. The attorney also expressed Dia's deep remorse for the untimely death of Alexis and her genuine hope that the Rasmussen family would find healing and comfort in the future. The statements of Alexis Rasmussen's mother, Dawn, were gut-wrenching. I go back over and over again thinking what I could have done to make things different. I wonder if she does the same thing. I don't know what Alexis found in Dia that she could not get from me, said the grieving mother.
Lexi's family and friends have to live with Dia's choices every day. Although I would never have made the choices Dia did with my daughter, I go back over and over again thinking about what I could have done to make things different. I wonder if she ever does the same thing.
Judge W. Brent West acknowledged that Dawn was not in a position to help Alexis when she needed it the most, which emphasized the agony and the torment Dawn was feeling. He also mentioned that even if he wanted to, a harsher penalty was not imposed on Dia Millerberg due to a plea deal that was reached after she testified against her husband. Prosecutor D. Smith also said that it was Dia's testimony against Eric Millerberg that solidified the justice brought upon the case. Without her cooperation, it might have been more challenging to secure a conviction. During her 4-year prison sentence, Dia Millerberg demonstrated a commitment to self-improvement and rehabilitation. She successfully completed the substance abuse treatment program and took part in additional culinary and business programs. Her dedication to personal growth and transformation during her incarceration was recognized by the authorities. As a result of her progress and positive behavior, Dia Millerberg was granted early release on October 16, 2018, a year before her original parole date. The early release provided Dia with an opportunity to begin rebuilding her life and working towards a better future outside of prison. The details of the aftermath of the crime unraveled as a result of Dia Millerberg's crucial cooperation with the police. Although Eric Millerberg initially pleaded not guilty to charges against him, he was sooner or later responsible for the young girl's end. Eric Millerberg was the one who injected the substances into her body, which made him the main culprit. According to Dia Millerberg, it was also Eric who concealed Alexis's body in the wilderness by covering it with brush and shrubs. She also said that in their efforts to erase any connection to the crime, the two first left Alexis's purse in one dumpster alongside the box that had previously contained her lifeless body. Then they proceeded to another dumpster where they disposed of the car's carpet to get rid of the evidence. 2nd District Judge Scott Hadley ensured that Eric Millerberg would face the harshest penalty available for his crimes and spend serious time behind bars. And despite Eric's efforts, he did. On February 12, 2014, Eric Millerberg received a sentence of a minimum of 6 years to a maximum of life in Utah State Prison. The judge imposed a 5-year to life prison term for child abuse homicide, a first-degree felony. In addition to the homicide felony, Eric received a sentence of 1 to 15 years for obstructing justice, a second-degree felony. The judge also issued 2 separate terms of 0 to 5 years for both unlawful sexual conduct with a minor and abuse or desecration of a human body, both classified as third-degree felonies. To make sure that the gravity of each offense was appropriately addressed, it was ordered that the sentences be served consecutively. In Eric Millerberg's defense, his attorney argued that while the case was tragic, Alexis's death was not premeditated and that there was no evidence to back up this claim. He said that the circumstances of this case are suspicious from the beginning. All the blame now falls solely on Mr. Millerberg for this death. He is being burdened with all the responsibility for Lexi's death as if he were the sole participant. The prosecutor was quick to dispute the defense's claim. He emphasized the fact that intentionally injecting lethal substances into a young girl is not an accident. This is child abuse homicide.
He then committed a form of child abuse both before and after by injecting her with illegal and dangerous drugs.
He criticized Eric Millerberg for his failure to take full responsibility for his actions, leading to the tragic loss. Eric's extensive criminal history, filled with multiple felonies and repeat instances of probation violations, suggested a pattern of disregard for the law and missed opportunities for rehabilitation. Besides his well-deserved sentencings, Eric Millerberg's dramatic appearance during his trial on February 14, 2018 in Utah also attracted a lot of attention. Gone was the bearded skinhead convict, replaced by a man wearing a suit and tie with a clean-shaven face. Although his heavily tattooed hands served as a reminder of his past, one prominent tattoo on his neck bearing the word "death" remained hidden beneath his collared shirt. During the trial, he expressed remorse for the impact of the loss of Alexis on her family and acknowledged the pain and loss that they have endured. However, to that day, he fell short of fully accepting responsibility for the girl's demise. He said that he was willing to take responsibility for the role he played and the actions he committed. but he believed that the entire blame did not solely rest on his shoulders. As yet another attempt to get away with the crime he committed, Eric appealed the conviction under the claim that his attorney failed to assist him adequately. He said that he requested a change of venue for his jury trial, but his attorney failed to properly argue for it. According to Eric Millerberg, his attorney did not properly investigate whether jurors had been influenced by media coverage which disclosed details about Eric's notorious criminal history, gang affiliations, and parole status. On February 23, 2018, the Utah Court of Appeals rejected the appeal and said that his attorney's decision was reasonable and he adequately represented Eric throughout the trial. Eric Millerberg, now 47 years old, is still serving his sentence for the murder of 16-year-old Alexis Rasmussen. The case of Alexis Michelle Rasmussen captivated public attention as the tragic details unfolded. From her disappearance to the discovery of her body, the investigation revealed a web of drug abuse, manipulation, and a shocking lack of remorse. As the legal proceedings unfolded, questions arose. What could have been done differently to prevent this devastating outcome? Should both Eric and Dia Millerberg have shouldered equal responsibility? Let us know your thoughts down below.